Hey, I'm Danny Langston. I'm a drummer in Dubai. I'm here at Techniline with Music Magis. I'm here to talk to you about the Alesis Strike MultiPad drum controller.
One more time. One more time.
So this is a super powerful bit of gear. There's no way I'm going to be able to cover everything. It would just be a way too long video, but I'm going to try and cover the bits that I think are most important and what have impressed me the most. So in this video, I'm going to show you some of the sounds, do a couple of demos. I'm going to go over live looping and recording, show some effects. I'm going to show the lighting on it and why it's so important. And I'm going to show some live sound editing, actually doing it there and then maybe give a bit of review and how I find it comparing to some of the other kits. But first, I'm going to go through some of the specs. So we've got 9 built-in velocity sensor pads here, 3 on the top and then 6 on the main pad. And each one, there's an LED light attached to it, which you can control different colors and assign different functions to, but I'll go into that in a little bit later. The first thing I noticed personally was it's slightly bigger than most of the pads I've played with, which I quite like. It's still portable. And also there's not hard plastic around it, so if I miss one of the sensors and hit that, you don't get like a loud noise from your stick hitting it. The other thing, and the big obvious one you notice, is the screen, which is a 4.3-inch color screen, which is so much more useful than I thought it was going to be, just navigating the pad and seeing where you are and seeing, especially with the editing, you can actually see exactly what you're doing. Instead of taking your computer and doing editing there, you can do it all on the pad, which I find incredibly useful. So there's 32 gigabyte of storage on this, which to me is basically unlimited for sound. You don't really need to use any more than that, but if you do want to use more than that, you can actually plug in a USB and the storage is then however big your USB is, so basically unlimited storage. But in that storage, you've got 30 pre-made kits with all different functions. It's got effects already on there, the lights doing certain things. It's quite a nice way to work out how to use the pad and just sample different things. There's also 8,000 sounds already built in. And 70 user kits for you to make your own kits using those sounds, or you can put in your own sounds, loops, full songs, whatever you want into it. So I'm going to take you to the back of it and we're going to have a look at some of the inputs and outputs. So you've got your USB in here for extra memory or putting in different samples yourself. You've got the MIDI inputs and outputs. So this one you can connect to your computer to record in and out that way, and this can control other MIDI outputs. You've got your main out, your aux out, and then these 4 triggers, which is quite a lot of triggers compared to a lot of other pads. You've got the dual, 2 dual, 1 single, and a hi-hat input, which is quite a unique feature. You can actually add an electronic hi-hat and use it as a hi-hat. So you can basically create a whole kit just on this pad. Then you've got the foot controllers here, which you can just use to free up a bit more space instead of using the 9 velocity pads on the controller. These are great for using, say, as a panic button to just turn off sound, or you can use it to move between the kits without having to do that with a stick. Then you've got the recording with the gain knob here, which it means that you can stop peaking, you can actually get a good input. And this you can be used to record in, say, DI bass or any microphone, vocals. You can even plug, say, a phone in and record something from the internet, some meme or whatever samples you want, just straight into the pad. So one of the biggest features that sets this pad apart from the other pads is the lights attached to the pads itself. So you can see here, I've got it on one of the presets, Knife Jogger, and there's different colors. You can change these colors however you want. You can really play with the features of these lights. One of the reasons why this is so important, it's not just to look nice, which it also does do, But if you're in a live situation, so I have this next to my drum kit, and there's lots of lights going on, you're in a dark situation, sometimes you can't actually see where you're hitting, or you forget where the pads are. You sometimes see people taping up their pads, and that's just so you can see clearly where each pad is. So with these, you can assign the colors. Say if I wanted red for snare drums, blue for toms, I don't actually have to remember where they are on the pad. I can just look at each different kit and see that quickly. It just makes my life easier. Other things making the life easier, you can see here these lights are flashing, and you can do this however you want, but for this kit, that means that's going to be a loop. So if I hit that, it's actually the way it's flashing is a tempo. You can see it there. If I hit it, you see it comes up with a white light, and that white light, I can now see that this one's being played. So I might not be able to hear exactly what's going on, or I wonder if I've hit it. The pad lets me know pretty clearly. Same for these. If I hit it, it flashes up, slowly fades out. That's the audio fading out. So if I just hit some of the others. You can see these flashing up, all sorts of things are going on. I can clearly see where I've hit, I can clearly see what's going on. Which makes my life a bit easier. So another really cool feature that I found, is one of the ones I found the most fun to play with on this pad, is that you can add different effects and different compressions to either the kit as a whole or each pad. So you can add reverb or delay, chorus, filters, EQ, compressions. There's all different ones. There's actually 27 kit effects pre-made you can put on there, or there's 38 master effects. And you can turn them on and off as you go along. So what I was doing there, the top right pad, you can see this white flashing light. When I hit that, it actually turns on and off the filter while playing. So if you saw me hit that top pad, that would turn it off, turn it on. So if you hear it's on at the moment, if I hit it, you hear that different sound. Really cool being able to do that. And something that I find just while playing with this preset, it's called Ham and Beans. You can see the flashing lights at the top here, making me clearly see that these are a loop. It's how I programmed it. And it actually shows the tempo, the metronome going along. So if I'm not sure where I am, it's just sort of making my life easier again. I can see that's flashing. The audience can see it on the side, a nice little add-on. So when I'm playing, I can see I'm actually in time. And there it is. So live looping isn't something that's unique to this pad, but I think the ease in which you can do it is. So I've tried to do it with other pads, and there's a lot of programming involved. I think there's a lot of fiddling going on. And this, with the big screen and the way it works, I could do it pretty straight away. So I'm going to give you a bit of an example. What some people would be using this for is, say, like a one-man band, they play guitar and they want to put a beat. And instead of just using a track, they can actually play their own beat in, loop it, and then play whatever they want. And if they want, they can then overdub something else, maybe a sound on here, or they plug in their own instrument and can actually just keep overdubbing, creating a whole song themselves. And then you can actually save that sound and assign it to a different pad, or just have it later on in the show, you just go back to it. So a lot of different uses. I'm going to attempt to just make a loop here on the fly. We'll see how it goes. I've got the preset kit, Cash Money. So you find a BPM, you can choose how many measures, play around with it however you want. So if I just hit the view, go to record, it's going to give me four clicks in, and then I'll have a go. So that's now looping. Hoping I've got that right. And then I can leave that, do whatever I want, so I can find the beat. And that will still keep looping. Then if I want to overdub that, I can actually put that beat in myself. And then I can keep going for however long I want. So if I keep that dubbing. That's now part of it. And if I wanted to, I can then stop that, put all the effects on, do whatever I want that I can do with all the other sounds, and then I can go off, do the rest of my show, and then when I come back to that, still already saved there to have a play. So the last feature I'm going to talk about on this pad is editing sounds live, actually on the pad. So normally I would make my own sounds on a DAW on my computer away from this, and then I would put it in. And then if I wanted to change them, I'd have to go and make the sounds, go back to the computer, put it back on. With this, actually, I can do that on the pad itself, actually on the screen. And when I made that demo at the beginning, I made the sounds myself, like these, and then put it on. And what I realized, I actually wanted to give it a more sort of DJ effect, and I edited the sound right here. So this,
One more time.
I wanted to cut it.
One.
To that, and I actually did it on the pad. So I'm going to show you how I did it, because it's much easier than I thought it would be. So I go to the kit, I go to where I would have put the sounds in, press edit, and then here I've got different options. I can pitch change, I can put it in reverse, I can normalize it, there's different things, but I'm going to just edit the actual sound wave of this one. So you can see here I've got the sound wave, and the original one would have been you can see that's all highlighted. What I do is use these two knobs over here, take it down to wherever I want it, I can then hear it, and then literally just press save, and that is now, one's the normal one, one's the short one. So after having some time with this pad myself, the three main reasons I think people would use the pad is as a producer, because you can connect it to a computer, to a DAW, and you can actually control MIDI or just record straight in to a computer yourself. As a sort of one-man band, as I'll call it, so maybe someone with an acoustic guitar that wants to loop themselves singing or playing a beat live, loop that, play with that, put the effects on, and then make a whole song themselves. Or as I use it, I have my own pads, and I actually connect it up to my acoustic kit. I'll have it to the side of me, and I'll be using some samples, either connected to, say, my snare. I hit the snare, it gives a reverb or a clap that I've programmed in, or I can hit samples myself. Or with its built-in metronome, I actually can start a track, that goes out to the front, the rest of the band hear it, and I stay in time. So the only limitations I found is it can take slightly longer to load between some of the kits, which is only a small thing, it's only a few seconds. But say if you're in a live situation and you want to change quickly and you miss a kit, you have to wait for that one to load, move up, and then wait for that one to load. It's just something to sort of prepare for. And the other thing with that is if there's, say, a chord being held out when you move to the kit, that chord stops. So you have to either wait for that to finish or be okay with that stopping when you move the kit. These are only small things, just comparing them to some of the other pads. And maybe it's something that Alesis will be able to change with a software update as it's loading. It's not actually a physical thing on the pad. Other than that, I'm fully impressed with all the features. And going back to my other pads, I'm actually going to miss a lot of the things I didn't expect to before playing with this.